Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. Today we've got what can only be described as an exciting video lined up for you. We're going to be talking about Cardano, and we're going to be talking about something huge that has just taken place, not just for Cardano, but its entire ecosystem. I'm, of course, talking about the Hydra announcement, a Hydra head on mainnet. We're really going to be breaking down what this means and really going over why this is such a big deal, not just for Cardano, but for its entire ecosystem, what's built on top of Cardano. And essentially Hydra, as we're in the Basho era, is a big part of scaling. Scaling comes in many different forms. Transactions is a big one. And of course, Hydra really addresses this with their layer 2 solution, which actually could achieve scalability for people looking to validate on Cardano to nearly 1 million transactions per second, which is huge. Hypothetical now, we need the criteria to be met, but actually could go above and beyond that, depending on the kind of criteria that matches it. So we're going to be breaking it all down, guys. I don't want to waste any more time. I'm going to try and keep this one a short and sweet one. Let's get into it all. So this was, and we had some announcements yesterday. Just in, we have a Hydra head live on Cardano mainnet. For anyone looking to try out a demo app on the Hydra head instance, check out, and then he leaves a link to this, which shows the pixels and transactions. You can see just how fast it really is. And also you can check it out over on Cardano Scam. You know, this is legit, guys. And Hydra is a huge deal. I can't stress that because it's massive. You know, it's Cardano's answer to scalability. And actually, this really ties in with the vision that I have for Cardano. And actually most layer ones out there. I think your layer ones are going to become almost the security chains, right? The chains that you trust to validate things, and that is going to be their main purpose, is to be secure. I think then you're going to have layer 2s or side chains, whatever you want to call them. Some blockchains are already built for this in the form of layer 0s like Polkadot that allow layer 1s, but you're essentially going to have how these layer 1s achieve ultimate mass adoption and scalability is through layer 2s. I honestly believe that in side chains, because to get the layer 1s to the level of scalability, the kind of challenges that come with that, you really have to jeopardize security. Whereas you don't actually need to get the layer 1 to that scalability if you can seamlessly do it on a layer 2 that's secured by the layer 1, like Hydra. We've done many sort of really scribbly diagrams of this, and I'll just sort of do one now to sum it up. And then we'll talk about what Hydra is and a little bit more of the announcements. So if you have a kind of, you know, Cardano, this is a Cardano blockchain. Essentially with Hydra, what you're doing is you're adding another chain that basically is verified by or secured by the layer 1. So this is Hydra, or one of the heads that will have maybe larger transactions or more transactions, more blocks, I should say, sorry, or maybe larger amounts of transactions within the block. And then, of course, it references at these points. So you maintain security, but you validate transactions offline, and you've got your own sort of method of doing that, and then validate them online, essentially, if that makes sense, for you using Cardano security. And this can scale out, you know, almost infinitely vertically. This is huge and something that I'm very excited about. And I think actually side chains, layer 2s are the answer to interoperability and everything in between. So what is Hydra? Some of you may not be familiar with it. We have made, and if you want to check out my channel for earlier videos, plenty of content on Hydra. Hydra, Cardano's solution for ultimate layer 2 scalability. Scalability is baked into the Cardano development roadmap. Enter Hydra. This is the thing with Cardano, guys. It gets a lot of flack. Some of it is, you know, you can see why. But a lot of it is just because it's slower than the others to come to market. And actually that may be proven to be a good thing. Certainly we've seen that be the case with a number of projects already, whether it be Solana, whether it be Luna or any of the sorts. But Hydra's actually been a very well thought out, just like Mithril, just like Marlow, piece of tech that can be added to the kind of stack that will really make Cardano the complete package. So Hydra, Cardano's layer 2 solution. In a blockchain network, a consensus algorithm creates a secure and trustless environment by ensuring agreements on the transaction history. Cardano uses Ouroboros, an effective proof-of-stake consensus algorithm, for this very purpose. But Cardano also, just like any permissionless blockchain, faces challenging when it comes to scale to achieve the throughput required to support applications in real world use cases, including payments, identification, games, or mobile services. After all, the blockchain needs to reach global consensus on each and every transaction. Cardano's transaction incur fees. The people who run the network, in the case of Cardano, the stake pool operators, need to be rewarded appropriately for the part they play. So fees need to be set at a sustained level. Users want to pay fees they deem acceptable. In addition, the blockchain needs to protect against denial of service attacks. For example, fees can therefore not be set so low as to open up undue risk. So if fees were that low, they could put through a whole load of transactions and really mess things up. So DOS events must be made prohibitively costly to protect against potential attackers. Storage is also a concern, as an ever-growing transaction history it can lead to storage problems. Effectively, the most successful blockchains risk becoming victims of their own success. Hydra is a layer 2 solution that seeks to address all these concerns and aims to maximize throughput, minimize latency, incur low to no costs, and greatly reduce storage requirements. So it really is a breaking bit of technology, developing a proof of concept. So we've seen, state proofs, and we've seen all these other kind of similar things where you're basically trying to come up with a way that you can maintain the layer 1 security, but actually be able to process more with it without clogging up the underlying chain. And Hydra, I think, is a brilliant, nothing short of a brilliant solution. So this is absolutely huge news. We now have one on mainnet. You can come and check this out. This is the code. You can see just how active this is. You always see Hydra very, very high up on GitHub. You've got issuers, the number of individuals that are issuing the code, issues, and whether they're being fixed, whether they're not, and so on and so forth. When you come check this out for yourself, you can trial this demo out. I'm not going to play it in the video, but the pixels essentially represent a transaction, and you can come and look at them on Cardano Scan. There's quite a lot of really interesting things going on. And this isn't just great for Cardano and transactions. Actually, you're going to see this really benefit the broader Cardano ecosystem, because Sunday Swap, I think, were one of the first projects building on top of Cardano to actually announce the implementation of Hydra. Today, our team is excited to demo something we've been hard at work on for months. Sunday Swaps on Hydra. While a ways out, this is an important milestone in not just our scaling journey, but Cardano's as well. We'll provide details later, but in the meantime, check out this video, and it's essentially showing you exactly how this works and just how fast this can actually be done. So once you have Hydra at full sort of capacity, Cardano essentially is the fastest and potentially one of the cheapest. Don't know about cheapest because lots of cheap blockchains out there, but could become one of the fastest blockchains that there is. And actually that's great in itself, but more importantly than that, it's got the security to match up that fastness. It becomes a complete package with layer 2s. This is how I think, if you think about when people first created a blockchain, like Charles, like Vitalik, like Gavin Wood, there's probably problems that when they created that blockchain, they didn't think of coming down the line. So the problem is they've already built these blockchains, right? And many of them, if they could go over and do it again, they'd have done things differently, of course. But instead of doing that and sort of wiping out what you've already got and all the hard work and dedication, and in some cases the masterpieces that you've made, you can actually correct those issues that have cropped up with layer 2s, like scalability. When Bitcoin, I don't think Bitcoin was designed for mass adoption necessarily. It just simply wasn't. However, it can become mass adopted through things like Lightning and these layer 2s. And this is why, just to bring my face whilst I'm rambling on back into the frame, layer 2s and sidechains are such a big deal. They are huge, and Hydra is a very well thought out one. I think the future for Ethereum is even layer 2s and roll-ups and things like that. I think most layer ones are going that route. You do have blockchains like Polkadot, like potentially Cosmos, that are built slightly differently, where they're not trying to be a layer one. They're trying to be almost like that security chain that you can build on top of. In Polkadot's case, Cardano essentially can become that, and potentially more, because it has these underlying layer one sort of smart contract capabilities. So this is huge news, guys. Let me know if you're excited about this in the comment section. You can find out more about Hydra by going on IOHK's website or input output, or following really any of the Cardano community, because I'm sure it'll be all over there now. Huge news. So that's all I've got for you in this video, guys. If you've enjoyed the content, I know we didn't fly over the price, but I don't really want to make this video particularly too long, but actually it's probably worth me maybe mentioning, we do think Cardano is very much on a journey along with the rest of the cryptocurrency market. We call for 35k Bitcoin from around about 15k, and we ultimately think that altcoins will catch up, and the market generally is in a third kind of wave advancement. So I'm not the biggest fan of Elliott wave theory, but I do think markets do move in this kind of wave-like fashion. And I actually do think that, given if this was the kind of first move that we retraced from, we are going to be looking for a greater impulse to the upside across the board, not just for Cardano, but for the market generally. So that's all I've got for you guys. If you've enjoyed the content, a like is always appreciated, so is a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next.